Hey all, it's Michael. I'm here in sunny 30 degrees Pinghu, China at the moment in Jiaxing. You're probably wondering what I'm doing here because last time we talked I was in Hangzhou. Well, this is partly why I'm doing this video because I haven't been around for a while, as you guys have noticed. And I haven't been posting any new videos on the channel, and a lot of things have happened, so I'm going to go into them. I'm not going to go into great detail because one, I don't want to put myself in a situation where I get disqualified from any jobs that I'm going into or job prospects for the future. And two, I just want to kind of get this off my chest, but also let you guys know what's going on. So first thing, I moved to Hangzhou to start a job opportunity at school. I was promised a few things, including training and to basically go into my dream job, which was to teach drama for kids. So I was teaching everything from grade 1 all the way to grade 9 in terms of educational purposes. And it was great, I was doing everything I needed to do, but the thing was I wasn't qualified. So what I decided to do out of my own volition was that I decided, okay, I'm going to do my PGCE, because that way, by doing my PGCE, I can move into the direction that I want to move in, get the teaching experience necessary, and the school gets everything they need. Because at that time, I was only teaching at training centers, so I didn't really know how to teach, so to speak. So I did that, went into that positioning, spoke to the principal at the time. He was like, yeah, go for it. Great idea. So then I moved into my direction, did what I needed to do, and everything was fine. I had back surgery, as you guys know, because they found an issue where I had bone hitting my sciatic nerve in my back. So it was basically excess bone fragments that had fused together, and it was like hitting into the nerve. So it was causing me to limp. I didn't know what the heck was going on. So the great thing, I was insured, so I went private, and I was told I had to leave work immediately and get this looked at. So I did, and it's taken about a year to heal. I'm still not 100%, but I'm better than I was, let's just say that. And this is something that the NHS kind of left when I was living in the UK. The nurse there was just like, oh, it's fine, nothing's going to happen. But if it was dealt with prior, I think I would have been okay. So the main issue is it's been dealt with now. That's that done. So then I spent 6 months being involved in a situation where my head of department was a complete and utter bully. She was a bully that hid behind feminism as an excuse. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against feminism. I think feminism is right for equality. Men and women do need to be equals. You need to be equals by gender, by color. Everyone deserves the same and equal rights. And if anyone says that's not the truth, then I don't know what to tell you. And I'm not going to put a debate up for it, so don't leave a comment below talking about debates when it comes to rights, because you just give me a headache. I'm not going to answer in terms of that, because I'm not going to go into politics, to be honest. So anyway, I was being bullied because she says I wasn't listening to her, but the whole truth was she was on her way out. She wanted to cause as much drama for everybody else as possible. I was trying to stay out of her way because I didn't want to deal with her BS, and I was also dealing with myself in terms of issues. I was going through severe depression and anxiety. I wasn't happy where I was. I wasn't happy in the position. I wasn't happy with the school, and I wasn't happy being where I was because I felt like I wasn't getting the support I needed. Everybody in the SLT, apart from one person in a position higher than me, just told me to take it. Like, oh, you just got to take it because she's leaving anyway. So if you turn it into a situation where you have to go into a room with her, then we're going to go through a process and you may not win. So just wait it out. And I was just, okay then. So I was convinced to let it go. Then I got told afterwards that, yeah, you know, your probation's up, because I had a 6-month probation at this position. And I was told that I met my promotion, and I shouldn't worry about that. My focus should be on the job at hand and taking over the department when this person leaves. I then go out on a Friday night. It was a Saturday night. It was during the week-long holiday that we had. I get a message from the principal who says that he wants to talk to me when we get to school, and that I did not pass my probation, and he wouldn't cite why. And this is what they would do. They would not tell you why you were in trouble for something, but you would get pulled into the office. And then they would spout these allegations, and then they would write you up, and then especially if they didn't like your face, right? So I was fine. Part of my problem was I was way too open with people. If people asked me something, I would tell them the truth. There's a thing that Chinese students do, is where they're like, do you have a girlfriend? I said yes. You know, it's one of those weird things that happen because when you're in training centers, little kids do it, it's cute. But being in a school position, the best bet is just not to say anything. So if a student asks you about something, you pull back into the lesson, which is, I was learning to do that. And that was my naivety. And I hold myself responsible and accountable for that. But I was also open with colleagues, and a lot of colleagues weren't very open with who I was. That's a fact. I would say hello to everybody every morning. I would compliment people on their clothing choices. I was as nice as possible. When I'd get a coffee, I'd buy a coffee for other members of staff. And just be as nice and polite as possible, and try and get along with everybody in my surroundings, including this human being who hated my guts. And again, I tried everything to stay out of her way, because I knew that whatever I would say, I would get accused of saying or doing things that were inappropriate, or I was being aggressive to her, because she played the whole crying victim shtick very, very well. So my head of departments wanted to produce this play. That was her focus. Her focus was producing this play. She didn't care about anything else. Her focus was the play and the play alone. And she would go on her way to like yelling at students, making people cry, and say, this is the way the business works. And the problem is, it's actually not okay if you're producing a play on Broadway, but that's the way she felt like if she was producing a play on Broadway, then this would be acceptable. I don't think it's acceptable anywhere. I don't think it's acceptable in any work environment, you trying to make someone cry, okay? That doesn't work for me. But anyway, I literally had to deal with that, and also a safeguarding issue. Not from me, because I wasn't doing anything inappropriate, but a safeguarding issue. Samus, don't. Samus, no. Sorry, my cat's trying to get into the door. So I was trying to deal with a safeguarding issue, and the safeguarding issue was to do with individuals that were serving me coffee at the time. There was a coffee shop, and these individuals would be very flirty with 15-year-old kids, young women per se. These young women haven't dealt with boys before, so they like the attention. These guys got a bit too friendly. So they were inappropriately touching people. The security cameras at the school caught them at doing it, and I reported them to management. I reported them to the head of the pastoral at school, and then reported it to the principal and reported it to the vice principal, because that's what you do when you see a safeguarding issue. So I writ everything out, I writ a statement, and I said exactly what needed to be done. And I found out these guys were not trained in safeguarding at all, and weren't punished in any way. Their boss was told that she will have a word with them, but the guys were still doing it. So I had to have a word with them. So I had a word with them, asked them not to do it, because I have to be the hero all the time. That's me. And I've always tried to discourage the students from sitting by the coffee counter at any time, and to go and sit with their friends in the foyer away from these disgusting human beings. And I will say disgusting human beings, because you can go to a club to pick up someone. You can go and chat up the teachers if you want. But when it comes to young children, you don't do that sort of thing. But anyway, that was brought up, and then I got pulled into the office again, being told that, and this was before I didn't pass my probation thing. So I got pulled into the office again, And as I got pulled into the office again for this, I was told that one, I was being inappropriate to women, which never happened. I'm not that type of person. I'm not the type to be inappropriate to anybody at work, because you have to be professional. And being that kind of unprofessional and also making someone's life uncomfortable because you value something of your own, you want to like be in a sort of position with them, it's just wrong. So I wouldn't do that. So I get accused of that, and I knew who was accusing me of that. It was the head of department who made up this bullcrap, and also said I was stalking the coffee worker guys, which I wasn't. I just made it quite clear that they shouldn't be doing it. Otherwise, I would be calling their boss to let their boss know what's going on and get them fired. I don't understand why that was a problem, but that turned into be a problem because apparently I took it into my own hands. So there we go. So I stayed out of everyone's way, kept my nose clean, focused on my duties, and I was in the process of winding down the term because I was producing pieces of all the kids and also grading them. I went into doing my focus, preparing my classes, and then we had the conversation about, you didn't meet the criteria, your teaching was substandard, which was a lie, because I have a copy of all the documentation about my teaching, and my teaching was good. It's not amazing, but good. It's getting there. So that was stressing me out. I was basically depressed as hell, stressed out as hell, trying to figure out what the hell try not to sneeze the wrong way, because I kept getting told that I'm too approachable, I'm too nice, that I need to stay away from and I was having enough. And then at the end, I basically got pulled in the meeting with the principal. He never even arranged the meeting. So he gave me this letter. It wasn't even a letter, it was an email, which basically they were breaking my contract. Because I was already told I passed my probation. I had that documented, and then got told that I didn't pass my probation. So I had a lawyer ready and I was getting everything to sue this school. And I had a meeting with the principal, and the principal came out of all this spiel about how he's waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I said, what shoe? What are you talking about? I behaved appropriately. I've done my work. You're the one who keeps pulling me out of my classes because you think I've done something wrong, or because someone's alleged that I've done something wrong. And I've just done my job. He couldn't agree to anything, and he told me I had to leave because I spoke out and said, you're breaking my contract illegally, you're doing this illegally. And if you want to do that, then just talk terms and go from there. So I got pissed and went home. My students kept contacting me, asking me where I was. I said I couldn't comment. They have to go and talk to the school. And this was via like a little website, Ding Talk, which we had, students had access to us. Some would email me, some would approach me in public places and ask me where I was. And I said, look, I'm no longer teaching now. Good luck. I hope you get the grades that you deserve. You're talented, etc., etc. But if you'd like to know what's going on, you'll need to address the school, because I really don't want to talk about it. This video is just literally me talking about the situation now, but I'm leaving a lot of details out. And the reason why I'm leaving a lot of details out, again, is because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, because there are a lot of people who still work there who I care about. So anyway, my girlfriend at the time was approached by HR. Human Resources basically asked to speak to me. So she put out the feelers and said, okay, I'll get him to talk to you. So then I had dinner with HR, thanks to a friend of mine, because a friend of mine knew the head of HR, and I explained to her my worries and my grievances. And she told me what was alleged that I did, and I didn't do this. But she was like, you said something personal to Chinese students. I said, no, I didn't. I wouldn't do that. I know how things work here. And they played this story ham-fisted, to the point I went to another school and got accepted for a contract. It was a very low-ball contract, to be honest, so I'm kind of glad I didn't take it. To become an English and drama teacher at this school, and then found out that the principal contacted them and said some bad things about me. The contract got rescinded, and then we went back to square one again. I was annoyed. So I kept looking for work. I found a few places in Beijing. I found a few places in different places of China, one place in Guangzhou. And then there's the current school where I'm at, where I'm currently based. They came up, I explained to them my side of the story, but there was an issue. The school had me over a barrel. They had me over a barrel over the fact that if I didn't hand in a resignation letter, so they wouldn't have to pay out 60,000 RMB, which is about like 6.5 grand in back pay to me. If they didn't have to pay that out if I signed a resignation. If I didn't do that, then they would withhold my paperwork, which is what they did. So I had to make a decision. Do I want that money, or do I want basically the gratification of that, which of a case that I may not win? I'm very confident I would have won it, but at the same time, you know, there is a small chance that I wouldn't win. Or go with getting my paperwork. So I decided to get my paperwork. So anyway, I bartered a situation where I got into a position that I want to be. Can't say what the money is because we don't talk about that. It's part of my agreement, which is fine. I'm in a much better situation. The school's a lot nicer. The principal was nicer. And my duty as the head of drama here is to create a syllabus for the drama department, and I want people to fall in love with drama. The previous school I was at, they didn't love drama. They wanted to literally turn the department out. This is how much they value drama. They hired a guy from a training center who has no professional experience whatsoever, because drama is his hobby, and they're getting him to be the head of drama. He has no professional qualifications, no PGCE, nothing, but he's the new head of drama. That's fine. That's how much you value it, that you're not putting a professional in that place. But to be honest, the previous head of drama there destroyed it. She made people fall out of love with it. There was no passion there. They had the equipment. They had the ability to make drama an amazing thing there, and to create something where like we could have state-of-the-art facilities for everything: film, television, audio engineering, producing theatre. But they needed the manpower to do it. They didn't want to hire the manpower. They only wanted 2 people, 2 drama teachers, which wouldn't work. And they didn't want to think outside of the box. I actually produced a film there, a short film that's now in the middle of its run at the Hong Kong International Film Festival, that I'm hoping wins an award, because I want the students that a lot of people at that school said were useless and problems to win something, to show this is who I am, this is what I'm capable of. Because you can reach students so many ways than just, you know, doing what you're doing. Sorry about the noise, it's the cats. They're using the litter trays at the moment, and it's good that they're all doing their business in the trays. I have 7 of them. But yeah, so packed up my things, moved my animals. I was getting everything ready so I could move to my new school, and I was getting the visa cleared. So I made the decision. I foregone the money I would have gotten by suing, and decided, okay, I'm gonna go with this position that I'm currently in. And I'm happier here. I'm with great people. I'm doing the right thing. And I hope that this position for many years' time is going to be a great position. I'm hoping to be here for 3 years, but it may be longer. Let's see how the 6-month probation goes. You never know. Someone may not like your face and then make it their mission to remove you from a position. This is what happens in the job market. What happens in anything. Like, it's one of the reasons why I'm sparely ever acting anymore, because one person went out of their way to try and destroy my career. But that's pretty much it. Then I ended up diabetic. I was eating a bunch of takeout. I was doing nothing when I was at home. I had an extended holiday. I was at home from May all the way to the 1st of August when I started my new position. I had a blood sugar level of 22. I was told by the doctor if I didn't go into hospital, I would have died. I ended up paying a hospital bill of around about $5,000, I think was the, no, about £600, sorry, not five. Oh no, four. No, that's right. £550, not £5,000. I'm thinking in RMB composed to UK pounds, but yeah, £500. That included my insulin. That included my Litigrade, which was the thing they used to reduce fat, and my tablets. So what I did, I went into overdrive in terms of trying to heal myself, and I now exercise 2.5 hours a day on the weekends, sometimes an hour and a half during the week. I do 150 push-ups a day, just building up the amount of push-ups I've been doing. I swim every weekend, and I go on regular walks with my dog after my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the reason why I do this is I wanted to get off the insulin. I'm type 2, by the way, type 2, not type 1. I'm type 2, and the insulin was needed because my pancreas stopped producing the insulin that I needed to get rid of the sugar that was in my bloodstream. I was drinking too much of the sugary juice. I was eating ice cream. I was having sugary treats, and it almost killed me. Now, my dad had this before me, my mum has this, my brother has this, my other brother has this. The person in my life who is supposed to be my sister, who shall remain nameless, has this too. And I'm worried that my kids are gonna get it. So that's a cautionary tale, but I'm doing a lot better. So now, they predicted 4 months I would come off the insulin. I came off the insulin within 4 weeks. And again, that's because I kept pushing myself to sort this out, to get my body back into shape, and to get rid of any excess fat that was in my system, and just keeping myself active, because that's what you need to do. I'm very good at fixing situations, but I'm also not very good at noticing when I was doing things that I shouldn't be doing. I did everything up until turning 40 to keep myself in the best shape that I needed to be in. And now I'm in okay shape. Like my weight is lighter than it's ever been in recent memory. So I'm like 92 kg, which is about 103 pounds, which is 14.5 stone. So I'm doing good. But do I hate my previous school? No. It's a life lesson learned. It's helped me to learn what I should and shouldn't do as a teacher. It's helped me to learn politically what was going on. And I just want to point out, nobody at the school who was making these decisions, who was doing the bullying or doing anything like that, was Chinese. These were all expats. The English person who was bullying me, who was my head of department, was a woman who was English. I can't say who she is, because if I say who she is, it's going to cause a huge issue. The principal was, I think he was Australian, or he could have been English. He was a complete and utter dumpster fire. He just didn't care. Like, all he wanted to do was whatever he was told to do. Then you had other people who, again, just didn't give a monkeys. They didn't care about their positions. A lot of them have moved on to other jobs. I know the principal himself was fired, school did a huge clear out, but the environment was toxic, and I tried to stay within that environment despite the fact that it was affecting my mental health. And I'm not angry at anyone. I wish them the best. I wish the school the best, because I think education is important. I think having drama in the drama department shouldn't be happening. But I also think that in order to be a principal, in order to be anyone in a position of leadership, you should be there for your employees. You shouldn't be picking favorites, and you should be there to help people. And if someone is a complete headache, and your excuse is, well, they're leaving anyway, that shouldn't be a thing. It should be about protecting each other. And the one thing I will say is I'm grateful for where I am. I'm grateful for being in China. I'm grateful for everything that's been done for me. Like without the hospital treatment, the 2 hospital treatments, I would have still had a screwed up back from years of wrestling, and I would have had a big issue with my diabetes. I probably would have been dead by now. Without the care and respect from people who want to give me a second chance, I probably wouldn't be teaching. Like, stuff like this could ruin a person's career. And I think going out of your way to ruin someone's career because they don't fit your mold, they're not a part of your social group because that person is different from you, it makes you pretty much a joke as a human being. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I can say. Again, I'm not angry. I'm not angry at anyone involved. I wish everyone the best. But I am excited now to see what the future holds and to hopefully continue to be here, because where I am currently is amazing. There's a beach near here. There's a beautiful lake to swim in. There's loads of places. The people seem nice and accepting. And I want to see where this goes. As for the YouTube hiatus, I've got a lot more to do. I've got more teaching to cover. Once hopefully maybe on the weekends, I can continue the YouTube stuff. I've got an idea for a show that I'm thinking of pitching for me to do. But I thought I owed you guys an explanation. It's nothing big. Again, everyone's names have been left out for a reason, because I don't want people being hunted down and I don't want to cause any dilemmas. But at least it gave me a chance to get this off my chest and to hopefully give you a chance to look at the situation. And if you're going through the same things, all I can say, if you're in a toxic environment, leave. It's the only thing you can do. Getting myself out of that environment was the best thing I could do, because it was affecting my health, my well-being, and my mental state. And I don't think anywhere in the world, like, I've been in this position before and I knew what was happening, but I wanted to slug it out, because I believe that that's what you do, you know. Because if I spent a year in that position, I could have, or 3 years, I could have gotten my PGCE and I could have gone out. But to be honest, I had no time. They weren't letting me do my study. I had to do it on the weekends, and I was exhausted mentally and physically. And I just didn't want to do anything. I had no time to write research papers. I had no time to sit down. I barely got a pass on my research paper because they wouldn't give me the time to do it. And they wouldn't give me the resources to do it. I wasn't allowed access to certain books and data that I had to turn it into a hybrid paper just to try and fix the problem. And all I can say is for people, if you go through this, if you're a teacher and you go through this on a regular basis, I feel so bad for you. The greatest thing that I did was move on. So yeah, pretty much it. Anyway, leave comments below. Let me know how things have been going. I need to go and take Luigi for a walk. And then I'm probably going to watch a TV show or something and then crash for the night and get up tomorrow and continue the excellence that is my new position. So have a great day, guys.